Do you believe in God, Mr. Steinberg? Tom looked a bit confused at the question. I'm sorry? Just wondering. Dr. Malfi clicked her pen. I suppose I didn't always. I didn't, not believe in God either. Guess I never thought about it till recently. Interesting. Dr. Malfi wrote down a few notes. What changed? The Shilvanti invasion. Somehow I've been fighting you all non-stop and I'm still here. Guess my luck didn't run out till I came here. Interesting. Though Dr. Malfi mentally advised her patient not to write off his luck just yet. Do you view your God as a source of luck? Maybe not, but somebody's looking out for me. In the conference room, Captain Vergin paused the video. Dr. Malfi, why do you indulge this primitive nonsense? Dr. Malfi grinned. Rather uncommon for a Shilvanti, she had a rebellious streak a mile long. Captain Vergin may have been in charge around here, but damn it if Malfi wasn't going to give her a hard time. Especially when it came to her patients. Especially then. We venerate the Empress in much the same way as these primitives. She said the word with distaste. It implied they were below her. It's the same concept, different name. Except the Empress is actually real. And as far as these men are concerned, their gods are just as real. No coming back from that, Malfi figured. Except they're not, Vergin rolled her eyes. Now, onto other business. Barrister Mantios needs 5 more bodies by the end of the month. Dr. Malfi paled. This posting was a cruel mockery of the medicine she practiced. These men were put in her care when they needed somebody most, and every month she had to betray that trust. Every month, as the deadline approached, she desperately looked for a way to avoid sending them down to the labs in the other building. Far as she was concerned, Barrister Mantios could shove purity control up his ass. If you ask Malfi, she still worked for the old Baroness, despite her, being dead. But the Baroness genuinely wanted to help them too. That was what mattered. She sighed. I'll see what I can do. Her mind raced as she tried to figure out a way to avoid doing what Vergin had asked. I walked to Dr. Malfi's office, as per usual, flanked by 2 guards. Come in, she said. Hello, Thomas, she said, as I pulled back the chair and sat down. What's up, Doc? I know this session wasn't in our schedule, but how are you feeling? Well, I don't think I needed the pill since last session. At first it had been a little confusing to me. Did the Shilvanti think I was insane or something? Whatever. It was an improvement over them shooting at me all the time. Wait, why was the doctor turning off the audio recorder? Good. Now, I have a job for you. Especially you, with your violent background. I narrowed my eyes. What is it? Nothing crazy. Look, you know that this hospital is just a front for purity control, and... Dr. Malfi sighed. Captain Vergin put me in charge of selecting the men she sends to the lab. And? I'm not sending you to the lab. Chill. I want you to attack me. Then on my desk is the Omnipad with my recommendations for the men sent to the lab. Destroy it. Wait. You want me to? She nodded and turned the camera back on. I stood up and shoulder-checked the doctor before kicking over the desk. The Omnipad and the contents of the desk clattered to the floor. I picked up a pack of cigarettes and lit one, puffing on it a few times before pressing it to the pad. It turned out even space-age plastic wasn't resistant to a flame, or a lit cigarette, at any rate. That shit burned right through. For good measure, I snapped it in 2. Thank you, Dr. Malfi groaned. The guards burst in, dragging me back to my cell. When I got there, one of the nurses dosed me with some pretty good drugs. When I came down, I saw my dinner tray had been loaded up. There was the usual purple goo, but something new too. Someone had left me a slice of cake, and a note saying, thanks. The mortar fired with a metallic thump. Sashan and Shrak watched as the shell landed in the middle of the compound, kicking up a dust cloud with a small flash. A moment later, a distant thump could be heard. All right, be careful, Gore said over the radio. There were civilians in there, probably servants or something. Got it. Sashan looked through her monocular. I take it we don't fire on the pink ones? How about the ones who aren't shooting us? Gore replied. Pink or purple? I can work with that. Darash radioed in. In Sashan's monocular, she could see a pile of grass stand up, revealing the lanky frame of her sister in arms. Darash quickly grabbed a nearby shield, spinning her into a tree. I could use a little backup, Darash yelled. Indeed, Sashan could see several shield in the trees surrounding the property. One exploded as Gore fired his rifle. The male sniper was using a customized Lemassil S3 rifle. It set the thing up to use an entire charge per shot. It killed the rate of fire, but the rifle could blow a transport in half, or, more importantly, paint the wall with bullshit vanti. On it! Sashan and Shrek started advancing down the hill and through the tree line towards their endangered colleague. Sashan fired her own rifle as a shield bore down on her. The gun was made to spread a little when she pulled the trigger. As a result, the huge purple alien went down with a few smoking holes. The three kitties slowly fought their way through the militia surrounding the house. Eventually, Sashan was close enough she could kick the door in. Remember, Gore said from somewhere on the hill, watch out for non-combatants. We don't want to repeat a Talus. Oof, Talus. A black spot on Shashan's otherwise spotless record. She played cat and mouse with a number of fighters in dark tunnels for long enough that she automatically fired on the first body she saw, and eviscerated some native family who had elected to hide there from the fighting on the surface. Sashan kept this in mind as she crept through the mansion, checking for guns on the people running by. Shrek and Darash did the same behind her. She had an objective she needed to complete. Duchess Hillel's office is this way, she murmured, rounding the corner through a set of big wooden doors. Shrek joined her while Darash attached a small charge to the door before stacking up. The bomb went off with a small pop, forcing a steel rod through the wood. Sashan kicked the door open and gunned down the two guards inside. Shrek immediately got on Duchess Hillel's computer. Well, she said. Well. Somebody's been a naughty girl. What is it? Sashan craned her neck to see. What's the old stereotype about nobility? Paranoid old ladies keeping tabs on their rivals? Say for yourself. Shrek slid the screen over to Sashan. Well, indeed. Hillel had been engaging in something called Project Blacklight. Dirty noble politics aside, Shrek had just found a possible list of targets. Sashan passed the screen back to Shrek, who immediately began copying the files to a personal data drive before wiping evidence of the incursion. Darach, go get the Duchess, and maybe her family. The big-ass kitty disappeared. Sashan could hear shooting and scream before Darach reappeared, 3 shill in tow. Hi, Duchess, Sashan said brightly. I think it goes without saying you told nobody about this, got it? Just for good measure. She fired over the head of one of the Hershel's husbands. The diminutive male curled up, whimpering. Eat shit, Furball, Hillel spat. You think you can come in here and threaten my family? No, Sashan clarified. You. I'm threatening you. With harm to your family, should you talk about this. Just do what she says. The husband whimpered some more. The other husband silently sobbed. You talk, I come back here. I have to come back here. I cut your husband's nuts off and feed them to you. Understand? The Duchess nodded. A car pulled up outside. Sashan cracked one of the blinds that humans seemed to put on every window and peered out. Gore had shown up with a vehicle for the Rexville. It was a big one, with a big open bed in the back. That's that, then. Sashan watched the 3 shills as Darach and Shrek opened the first floor window. Once they were in the truck, Sashan followed. She stopped and turned back to the shield just before she stepped through the threshold. And remember. She walked back to the desk and grabbed a pair of scissors, making a quick 3 snips in front of the aliens. The males winced as the scissors went snip, 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 inches from their nose. And with that done, Sashan got in the truck, and Gore zoomed off.